The content creation market accounted for $13.4 billion of revenue in 2021. So much money.
That is insane. And more people are getting into this content creation business, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's promoting your business like me. So today we're going to talk about it.
We are going to be sharing all the tech, the software, the gear that we use in content creating for YouTube and social media.
We're also going to be giving you a couple of options at different price points. If you're a beginner, you're looking for some budget-friendly options, we got you covered.
So let's start with the gear. I feel like the most common question we get asked is, what camera do we use?
So currently we are filming on a Canon 80D, and we also have a Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens. And I always say, I think the lens is actually sometimes the most powerful thing. Like the Canon 80D is pretty standard. Before this, I think we had like a 600D, pretty standard on YouTube, but it's the Sigma lens that gives us this crisp look, and I just love it. The Sigma lens in particular is great for photos and videos. So if you want to do a little bit of both, that's also something to be conscious of. Don't just get a camera that's good at photos, get one that does both for you.
And I remember when we got the Sigma lens, the autofocus was a pretty big unlock for us because we had to manually focus all our previous videos. So that was definitely a huge upgrade when we did go there. We also both have little point and shoot vlogging cameras. Alan's got the classic YouTube G7X. I recently got my own vlog camera, and I actually went the Sony route after being such Canon girls for so long. When I did the research on the different models out there, the Sony ZV-1 just had a lot of what I was after. It could do like a blurred background, it had great autofocus. There's a Sony software you can use where it tracks and does some stabilization. So just really had a lot of what I was looking for, and I think if you were just starting out, you could easily get away with just using one of these smaller cameras rather than the big DSLR.
Yeah, the point and shoots that just have the built-in lenses do a really great job these days. And controversial, I'm thinking about switching to the Sony camp. This Canon 80D is getting a little bit old, and to be honest, I think content creators these days really need to look at the size of your camera gear. You need to be going out and about and getting content. You can't just, make content in your bedroom anymore. I feel like that's not enough these days.
We say while making content in the bedroom.
But yeah, for me especially, traveling, I want something more lightweight, so I'm looking at Sony mirrorless cameras. Very tempted, but I think that'll be later this year. There's so many tech that needs upgrading, jeez.
And I think cameras tend to be one of the biggest investments for content creation, so
it's probably the most expensive thing we have on our list in terms of the toolkit. But that kind of brings us to the next option. If you're not ready to invest in a camera yet, or if you're not sure you really want to dive into this whole content creation thing, maybe you just want to play with it on the surface, give it a shot, using your phone works so well. Exhibit A.
Today, cell phones have amazing cameras. They're very high quality, very high res, got good focusing, and a lot of people I know just use these for their YouTube channel, especially when you're starting out, because you've kind of already got it. You don't have to invest a bit of extra money into getting a camera.
And coming from someone who works in the social media space, I often find when it comes to Instagram and TikTok even more so, if you try to put a video out there that's super highly produced, that's shot on a fancy camera, you've got a videographer team, the editing team, whatever, it doesn't perform as well as just a simple video shot on your phone. People love that authenticity, that kind of raw video, something that's a lot more casual and candid. People really respond and resonate with that at the moment. So take advantage of that. You can start a TikTok page with just your phone. You don't even have to have the best phone on the market. I only just recently switched to an iPhone. Previously, I had a Samsung Note 10 that I think was 4 years old.
Before I got my iPhone, I think this is a 12. I had a 7 for ages, and it did the job. That kind of leads us to our next section of gear. Something that really made creating with my phone a lot easier was a tripod. You can get all different tripods. You can obviously get them for your big camera, but I actually didn't get a phone tripod until last year. And I feel like I've been so more spontaneous with creating content, and a bit better at getting pictures of my sewing and stuff, because I just chuck my phone on the tripod.
You don't have to annoy your
just
fiance.
Feels a bit more casual.
Like, take this video for me.
I just chuck it on the like driveway or something.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps with your content creation to have a tripod. You don't have to balance your phone on a whole lot of things.
And that's what I did for so long because I thought that was easy enough. I had like a big set of bookshelves in my old office or something like this. So I just always put my phone on the bookshelf and I was like, this is easy. And then I realized in my box of camera gear, I had a phone attachment. So it was just a little like stretchy dongle like you have in your car. Yeah, like a mount.
Yeah.
And I could attach that to my existing tripods that I already had. And I started doing that and I was like, wow, I can just get such better shots. And I often find this with my clients that I work with when they're like, how should I be filming? What should I be buying? My number one thing to them is just buy a tripod because nobody likes shaky footage.
We have used all different tripods for our big DSLR camera. We've had some that were gifted to us. We've bought some. I bought a little travel size Manfrotto one, which I really like. And I know Manfrotto is a really good brand, but I don't think you have to get a particularly good brand of big tripod.
Tripods is where you can save your money as a content creator.
Yeah, as long as it's going to securely hold your camera. We've had some that have fallen. As long as it's secure on there, I don't think it matters too much.
The next category of tech we have is microphones. And we have quite a few microphones. We've experimented with a lot over the years. And today we're recording on the Shure MV7, which is actually the microphone I use for podcasting. And it is quite an expensive microphone. So if you are a newbie content creator and you're wanting to save money, don't get this. But if you're someone who maybe does want to also do a podcast or you're really into your audio, I've become a bit of an audio geek now. I just love it. I said to Tara, like, oh, I bought my podcast mic because I think our Rode mic that we've used for years, I'm like, it's a bit tinny now. Like, I wanted to use the good clean mic. And Tara was like, ew, what a nerd.
Definitely there was an upgrade from our in-camera microphone when we got the Rode shotgun mic. But I did also get a second one and it hasn't been as good. It like broke quite quickly. Ellen also has a lav microphone, which has a little like box that you attach to your pants and a little clippy microphone.
Like they have on TV or reality shows. Very professional.
Maybe we should get like a necklace one, like Love Island.
Like Love Island.
I'm kidding.
But I do think that's a great point actually. Like you see a lot of TV shows, they go to a lot of effort with their microphones. Like there's always a mic. And I do think if you're looking to upgrade any of your tech, upgrading your sound makes such a difference to your video. I was saying to Tara earlier, I firmly believe that you would watch someone's video if it's bad visual quality or just not the best in terms of lighting, but you can't stand watching someone who's got bad audio. Like if it's crackling, if it's really quiet, you swipe past that video or you skip to the next one. So it is really important, but there's lots of cheap microphones on the market that do the job.
And you could use it in combo with your phone. So that could be one of your first or second gear upgrades after a tripod.
The next category is kind of a funny one. People always ask us what lighting we use. And I honestly hate softboxes. I hate ring lights, especially because Tara and I often wear our glasses. I forgot mine today, but usually we'd have glasses on and you just get all of the reflections and it's just not a vibe. So what we're filming on today is literally we're just filming in front of windows. There's no fancy tech and I think this is the best place you can save money. Again, if you're just starting out as a content creator, use natural lighting. Yes, some days it's annoying if like the weather's a bit bad and you're planning to film that day, or you know, sometimes you get the cloud going in and out. That's
and
a very
lights like in and out.
That happens a lot in our videos, you guys will notice. Yeah. But overall, I think nothing competes with the beauty of natural lighting. So just making sure like the way we're set up today, we're sitting here, tripod with cameras there, and then behind the tripod is a window. And we also have a window over here and a white wall there, so it kind of bounces around. The other thing we didn't put on our list is we have a reflector, which is basically a big shiny shield, which we can position to reflect light onto us. And
which is quite good if you don't have a white wall or it's not reflecting off the wall and you want to bring some light to this shadowy side of the face if you've got a window over there.
That's what I've often used in my current office and my office before my last one, my home office, because like the windows were sometimes only on like one wall and it didn't quite align with where I wanted to film sometimes, so having the reflector was good for bouncing light.
Moving on from physical gear, we're going to go into the software realm. We are both Mac computer lovers, but pretty much all of this is also available on Windows if that's all you've got.
The first thing is, what do we edit our videos on? And again, there's some cheaper entry level options. When we first started, Tara actually used to edit everything on iMovie, which is free with your Mac. I also love using CapCut, which is a free app on your phone, and they also have a desktop version, which I try and remind people of, because I think editing video on your computer saves you so much time. I edit all of my reels.
Fiddling with your little
the
phone.
drags and like, it's so annoying. I would say I probably do some really quick TikToks just on my phone, like anything casual and quick, but any of those like heavy montages you see on my Instagram or my TikTok, or videos of me like talking, like I find it so annoying because I never talk perfectly. I have to edit out my ums or my stutters, and it's so annoying to do that on your phone. So save some time, do it on a desktop. The other software that we obviously use on our computer is Premiere Pro, which is my software of choice, but I don't recommend it for beginners because it's very overwhelming, don't you think?
Yeah, there's definitely, like, we're both self-taught in Premiere Pro, and there's lots of amazing creators sharing information and tutorials. It's amazing how much you can learn from Google, which is essentially how we learn everything about YouTube. But it's definitely quite a complicated program. I think most of the Adobe Creative Cloud ones, like Photoshop, Illustrator, all of those, can be quite complicated. They've got a lot of tools, a lot of features.
So many shortcuts to remember.
Many shortcuts. But if you just start simple and like build up, you can learn a lot over time. And I think Premiere Pro, you can really do a lot more with it than something like iMovie. You can do a lot more graphics, you can do color editing, like this, it's really powerful software. So it's definitely good if you want to upgrade your content.
And that brings us nicely to the next category of photo editing. Now, we actually have the Adobe Creative Cloud, which means we not only have Premiere Pro, we also have Audition, which is where I record my podcasts. We have, what else is there? Lightroom, Photoshop, Illustrator, anything under the Adobe umbrella, you get access to for a monthly subscription. This isn't sponsored, by the way. We've just
I wish it was. We just love Adobe.
Yeah, we've literally had Adobe Creative Cloud since we were first like blogging. It was one of the first things that we bought. I
think because I was using it in high school, like in the design rooms, so I kind of knew a bit about it. And then when they offered the subscription, we got like the student rate.
Yes, look at their student rates. They're actually really good. And then they hook you in as a student, and then you can't live without it.
When you're not a student, you're like, oh, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we mostly edit photos. Ellen mostly uses Lightroom, whereas I tend to lean towards Photoshop because that's what I've learned for so long for editing photos. But on our phones, I also really like the ViscoCam app. I have bought the premium or the upgrade subscription, which isn't too bad. I think it was like $20 or $30 for the whole year.
Oh,
so
that's
it's like
really good.
a couple dollars a month. And that means you can also edit videos on your phone. And I just find it a lot quicker and easier, like not sending everything to my computer.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to do, I think you mentioned you use it for Instagram story photos and videos. And sometimes you just like, you take a photo on your iPhone and you're like, oh, this is so dark. Or like, I just want to boost the colors and brighten it up a little bit. But it doesn't really make sense to like open up your laptop to do that for a quick Instagram story. The next piece of software is one of my personal faves. You might be surprised that I also use this as well as being an Adobe fan, but I love Canva. Canva is my number one. And for the students who come into my program, the Dishing Up Digital School, who want to become social media managers, that is the number one software I recommend to them, because if you're going to be creating Instagram posts and graphics and stories for clients and lots of different clients, it is such a user-friendly piece of software and it's just so good. I love it. But if you're wanting to go more down the content creator route rather than maybe a social media manager or a social media content creator, maybe it's not as necessary for you. Have a think if you're going to be creating lots of graphics for an Instagram feed, or maybe you're going down the TikTok route. In that case, you probably don't need it. We do use it for our YouTube thumbnails though.
I feel like Ellen and I could make a whole video like facing off Photoshop versus like Canva. But Ellen really did bring me around Canva, I've got to say. It's got some cool like animation features of like the different texts and things that you can use in videos. So Yeah, I'm definitely, I think because of like my career path, I'm more of like a Photoshop Illustrator gal for graphics design, but
and
yeah.
I should actually mention you can edit videos in Canva, and they're doing a lot of work to improve their video editor. So that's another option.
There's also like some cool looking AI features coming out.
They've just announced
like,
a whole bunch of new features. They're doing really cool things.
Quite a cool
but
thing.
I feel like I'm still always going to have Adobe Creative Cloud and Canva. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit bougie in that. I'm like, I like all of these options. But definitely, if you're just getting started, go for some of those, easier apps. Go for CapCut, go for Visco. There's lots of options for you.
The next category is an analytics software. This is actually a newer software to like our little set that we use for YouTube. It's called TubeBuddy, and you get a lot of data and analytics, additional information about tags and search engine optimization, and it's been really interesting to use, like challenge some of our assumptions about what video titles would be good or what tags would be good.
Often we've thought of a video title and then we check it through TubeBuddy and they're like, actually this has terrible SEO and it's not going to rank well for your channel. So it's just like we have the same topic but we might just tweak the title a little bit.
It gives you some really good direction on how you can improve your channel and kind of put your best foot forward to get your content seen out there.
And I was using the free version for probably about like a year until we decided to upgrade to the paid one. But we'll leave our affiliate link down below. We're not sponsored. We just really like TubeBuddy. And if you're on YouTube, I think it's essential, honestly, because you need the analytics, you need the data to be making good decisions around what content your audience wants.
All right, so we're going to finish up with organization. Love a bit of organization.
And it's important. You can have all the cool camera gear and microphones, but you've got to organize your content if you want to have this side hustle or this business.
And if you want to keep up posting and not forget to post.
Being consistent.
Our first one is great because it actually sends you reminders, which I got on the other day and was like, oh, I was meant to do this video and I forgot.
I mean, we kind of just penciled in that video idea.
Yeah, that's okay. But it is called ClickUp. I think we've talked about it before. Ellen uses it a lot in her business, but we've found it so awesome for planning YouTube. We put in our research from TubeBuddy, some screenshots on video topic ideas. We can write our scripts in there. We can tag our lovely video editor whose name is also Tara.
It's what we have open literally right now. And I think it's also useful for just dumping down content ideas. Like today we were like, we're really behind on YouTube, we need to film a video. And we just pulled up our ClickUp where we've got like 50 video ideas. And we're like, cool, which one do we feel like filming today?
Some days you're definitely feeling more inspired and full of ideas. So if you can capture those somewhere while you're on that vibe, it's really good. So that is all we have today. There's so many different things you can use for content creation. But we hope this was helpful, and maybe if you're just starting out, there's a few ideas in there. If you're looking to upgrade, there might be a few ideas in here.
If you guys want more videos on being a content creator in 2023, maybe some of the more businessy stuff behind the scenes, and maybe how you can make money as a content creator, let us know in the comments below. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up. It really helps us out with the algorithm, getting more people to see our videos, which means we can make more of them. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.